Good morning, students. Today I'm going to explain transportation in plants topic, and also I will discuss answers of some questions given in the blue box or in text question. First I'm going to explain transportation in plants. So the question transportation in plants. The question arises, why do we need a transportation in plants, or why do we need a transport system in plants? All of we know that plants make food, or plants synthesize their food in the presence of sunlight by taking carbon dioxide from the environment, but this food is getting synthesized in the greener part, that is chlorophyll of the leaves. So because the food is being made in the leaves, but the each and every part of the plant require food, so the food prepared in the leaves has to be transported to different parts like stem, roots, etc. also. So to transport food we need transport system. Also we know that plants require various minerals and water for making their food. So but these minerals and water are present in the soil, through which the plants take through the roots. And so to transport the synthesized food and water and minerals, we need a proper transportation system in plant. Now if the plant is very small, suppose if the distance between the soil contacting organs like roots and chlorophyll containing organ, that is leaves, are small, then this energy, this food and water minerals, can be transported easily by the method of diffusion. If the plant is very small, then diffusion is sufficient to transport this material. But in a long trees, in a large plant, if the distance between roots and leaves become larger, then diffusion process will not be sufficient to provide to transport this required material. So for that a proper system of transportation is required in plants. Now what are the components of transport system in plants? The main component of transport system in plants are xylem and phloem. Xylem is responsible. You have studied about xylem and phloem in your previous class, ninth standard. So I will not explain in detail. Just I will explain the function of xylem and phloem. Xylem is responsible for transportation of water and mineral, and phloem is responsible for transportation of food. You must be knowing that xylem consists of four types of cells. These are tracheids, vessels, xylem fibers, and xylem parenchyma. And phloem consists of four different types of cells. These are sieve tube, companion cells, phloem parenchyma, and phloem fibers. You must remember that xylem is a we call xylem tissue as dead tissue, because out of these three tracheid vessels and xylem fibers are dead cells. Only xylem parenchyma is living. And phloem tissue is known as, we call phloem tissue as living tissue, because in phloem these three are living cells: sieve tube, companion cells, phloem parenchyma. Only phloem fiber is dead cells. Now one more thing I would like to include here, that the energy need between the animals and plant is different. Actually animals or human beings need more energy because they move, they do lots of activities. So the energy requirement in human being and animal is much more than the energy requirement in plants. Plants do not move, and the plant bodies have a large proportion of dead cells in many tissues. Uh, Mostly more than 50% is dead cells in plants. So because of that, plants have low energy needs, and therefore they have comparatively slow transport system. But in case of large trees, the distance over which transport system have to operate, the distance through which the materials have to be transported, that is very large in large trees. So there must be a proper system, transport system. As I said, plant transport system will move food or energy from leaves, because the food is getting synthesized in the leaves, and the raw materials, that is water and minerals, from the roots. These two paths are constructed independently, which contain conducting tubes. These two are totally different paths which carry food and water and minerals. We know, as I said, xylem transports water and minerals from soil to each and every part of the plants, to the top stem, top flower, top bud, top leaves of the plant, and phloem transport food which are synthesized in the leaves to each and every part of the roots, each and every parts of the plants, like roots, stem, etc. Now we will, as I said, we have discussed all these things about xylem and phloem in 9th standard, so I'm not going to explain this in detail. Now I will explain transport of water and minerals and transport of food and substance. First I will explain transport of water and minerals. Transport of water and minerals. The upward movement of water and mineral salt from roots to the aerial parts, top parts like leaves, branches, flowers, fruits, etc. of the plant, against the gravitational force is known as ascent of sap. I repeat, ascent of sap. What is ascent of sap? Ascent of sap. I repeat, the upward movement of water and mineral salt. As I said, plants require lots of minerals, calcium, phosphorus, nitrogen, and all these minerals are absorbed by plants through roots in dissolved form. These minerals are dissolved in water, and through the water the plants take all these minerals. So the upward movement of water and mineral salt from roots to aerial parts of the plants against the gravitational pull, against the gravitational force, is called the ascent of sap. Now this ascent of sap is carried out by or with the help of xylem tissue, mostly in plants. As I said, there are 4 types of cells: xylem vessels, xylem tracheids, xylem parenchyma, and xylem fiber. Out of this, xylem vessels and xylem tracheids conduct the water and minerals in flowering plants, and in non-flowering plants, tracheids are the only conducting cells. I repeat, there are flowering plants and non-flowering plants. In flowering plants, the responsible cell for transportation of water and mineral are xylem vessels and xylem tracheids. What are responsible? Vessels and tracheids. But in non-flowering plants, only tracheids, xylem tracheids are responsible. These xylem vessels are placed one end to end, एक के साथ दूसरा, with perforated end walls. They form pipeline for conducting water and minerals from roots to the leaves. They are connected one on the other. They form a pipeline type of things, and they conduct water and mineral from the roots to the leaves. As I said, these vessels and tracheae of the roots, stems, and leaves are interconnected. They are connected with each other to form a continuous system for for the conduction of water, which reaches to all parts of the plants. Generally, ascent of sap or movement of water minerals are because of two things. Two forces are responsible for ascent of sap. I will write and I will explain this. Ascent of sap, that is movement of water and minerals, because of root pressure difference. I'm going to explain this. And because of transpirational pull. Transpirational pull. Generally what happens, as I said, the root here absorbs the water and dissolve minerals, and then this transported to each and every part of the plants. At the root, the cells which are in contact with the soil, they take up the dissolved minerals in the form of ions, and when the roots takes up, it creates a difference in the concentration of these ions between the roots and the soil. So because of this difference of concentration, because of this, the water moves into the root from the soil to eliminate the difference. To eliminate the difference, the water comes from the soil to the roots. This means there is continuous steady movement of water into the root system, xylem tissue. I said the xylem tissue present in the root absorb the minerals from the soil, and because of this difference in concentration, there is continuous movement of water and minerals from the soil to the roots. But however, because of this is known as root pressure difference. Root pressure difference. So because of root pressure difference, the minerals and water flows from soil to the root, but this pressure is not enough to move the water to the large height of the plants. So plants actually use then another method which is known as transpirational pull. Before explaining this transpirational pull, I would like to explain first that all of us know there is continuous loss of water or evaporation of water molecules from the leaf. I have explained this earlier also. There are many tiny pores which are known as stomata on the surface of the leaves. When the stomatal pores are open, the water evaporate through this stomatal pores. So this evaporation of water molecules from the cell of the leaf create a suction which pulls water from the xylem cell of the root. You can understand, suppose this is the leaf and there is this stomatal pore. When the water evaporates, generally this occurs at the daytime, when there is high temperature surrounding. So because of that high temperature, the water evaporates through this stomatal pore, and there will be deficiency of water behind. So the down water will come up, then it will evaporate, then lower water will come up, and so there will be continuous flow of water from bottom to top, where there is loss of water through the stomatal pore. So first I would like to explain one more thing, transpiration. Transpiration is the process in which the loss of water occurs in the form of vapor from the aerial part of the plant. Loss of water from the stomatal pore into in the form of vapor is known as transpiration. So this transpiration process helps in the absorption and upward movement of water and minerals, dissolved minerals, from roots to the leaf. Generally, as I said, transpirational pull occurs in daytime, and this occurs in tall trees or tall plants. There is root pressure difference generally in small herbs, and this is generally occurs major process in ascent of sap during daytime is transpirational pull, but at the night time the main driving force is the root pressure difference at night. I repeat once again, at night the main driving force for ascent of sap is root pressure difference. At daytime the main driving force is the transpirational pull. So I hope you have understood ascent of sap. Ascent of sap means the transportation of mineral and dissolved mineral and water from root to different aerial parts of the plants, and this occurs because of root pressure difference and because of transpirational pull. All both things occur against the gravity. Now I am going to explain about transport of food and other substance. Transport of food in plant. As I said, food which are getting synthesized in the greener part of the plants need to be transported to each and every part of the plants. This method is called translocation. Translocation is the transport of food from leaves to different parts of plant. Food from leaves to different parts of the plant. And who is responsible for this transport of food? Only phloem is responsible to transport the food. We know components of phloem are sieve tube, companion cells, phloem parenchyma, and phloem fibers. Sieve tubes are living cells which contain cytoplasm but no nucleus. Companion cells have cytoplasm as well as nucleus. So this companion cell and sieve tubes are responsible mainly for the transportation of food. We know that food is manufactured in the green parts leaves by the process of photosynthesis. This manufactured food enters into the sieve tube. I said sieve tube and companion cell. Sieve tube and companion cells are responsible for transportation of food. The manufactured food enters into the sieve tube of the phloem and is transported as a dilute aqueous solution in upward and downward direction. See, leaves are all over the plants and stems are also. So suppose the food is getting synthesized at the lower leaves and it has to be moved to upper part also. So this transport of food is occur downward as well as upward direction, but transport of water and mineral is always from downward to upward direction. So I was saying this food is transported as a dilute aqueous solution in upward or downward both direction. Food is transported to all non-green parts of the plants for growth and metabolic activities. For the growth of the plant, various branches are coming out, new leaves are growing, buds are growing, fruits is growing. So for the growth of various parts, the food is required. Besides of food molecules, phloem also transport amino acid, hormones synthesized in the shoot, root, and other metabolic activities. Now, in transport of water and minerals occurs due to physical forces, that is transpirational pull and root pressure difference. Transport of water plus minerals require physical forces, but in case of physical forces, but transport of food is done by using energy. This transport of food, or translocation, which is also known as translocation, we can say translocation in phloem is done by utilizing energy. In this process, actually what happens, glucose is transferred to phloem tissue using the energy from ATP. You know that energy is released in the form of ATP, which we call energy currency. This increases the osmotic pressure of the tissue, which causes the water to move into it. So the soluble mineral is then transferred from phloem tissue to other tissue which have less pressure than in the phloem. So this plant's requirement, this material, the synthesized material, is translocated from higher osmotic pressure area to lower osmotic pressure area by using energy. So these things are about the transport of food in plants. I repeat once again, the transportation of food and other substances like amino acid, etc., that is translocation of food, takes place in the sieve tube with the help of companion cell, both in upward and downward direction, upward and downward in both direction, with the help of energy, with utilizing the energy. Now I'm going to explain answers of some questions given in the blue box. Blue box questions given on page number 110. The first question is, what are the components of transport system in human beings? What are the function of these components? This I have explained earlier, but I'm going to explain it right now also. The main components as I have discussed, the main components of transport system in human being are a pumping organ, that is heart, a system of blood vessels, that is arteries, veins and capillaries, and circulatory medium, blood and lymph. So you can explain about these three things: heart, arteries, veins, capillaries, blood and lymph. See, what are the function of these components? So you have to write the function of these components also. Again, you will explain this in detail, and in exam it depends upon the marks. If it is a higher mark question, then you have to explain it detail, and if it is 2 mark or 3 mark, then you can write in short. So in this question you have to write the function of heart, function of arteries and veins, and function of blood and lymph. The next one, why is it necessary to separate oxygenated and deoxygenated blood in mammals and birds? मैमल्स एंड बर्ड्स में ऑक्सीजनेटेड एंड डीऑक्सीजनेटेड ब्लड को सेपरेट करने की क्या ज़रूरत है? नो, सी, एक्चुअली मैमल्स एंड बर्ड्स they need more energy, so it is necessary to separate oxygenated and deoxygenated blood in mammals and birds to maintain efficient supply of oxygen. They require more amount of oxygen, so to maintain sufficient supply of oxygen to the body, to obtain to fulfill their requirement of energy, it is necessary. What are the components of transport system in highly organized plants? As I said, if the plants are small, then diffusion process is sufficient. But in highly organized plants or trees, there a proper system, a proper transport system is required, and the main component of transport system are xylem and phloem. And then you can explain that xylem is responsible for the transportation of dissolved minerals in water, and phloem is responsible for transportation of synthesized food. How are water and minerals transported in plants? This, the answer of this question just I explained in this video also, in this video only. And how is food transported in plants? So water and minerals through the xylem, as I explained in this video. You can go through that. And transportation of food, which is known as translocation, is also I have explained. So please write the answer of this questions in your notebook. That's all for today. Thank you.